All right, it's Satchel time, and we're going to start with MJM NC. We kind of rushed, quote unquote, rushed the field on Saturday. Thoughts? Am I being the old guy yelling to get off my lawn, or is our history too good to be doing that against them? So I've reached the point. Now I'm answering. I've reached the point in my fandom where I understand things to be what they are and what they're not, but I know that I'm not going to convince anybody one way or the other. But here's what this is: it's lame. It's Oregon State. You rush the field. Like there are a bunch of people out there that are like, "Oh, let the kids have their fun." And by that logic, rush the field every game. Do it. I guess what Clemson does. Come on the field every game. We win. Come on the field. I get that the ending was exciting. I'm not against it. Like I'm not telling you to not do it, but it's corny. It's corny. It cheapens the other moments when you do it. The Hail Mary, yes. This, I don't know. I disagree. And I'm really shocked at how many people are like, leave the kids alone. Like, first of all, no one's really going after the kids. They're just saying it's kind of dopey. But I've really been surprised at how many people are like, yeah, go do it. I don't know. Charles, what do you think?
I think I've gotten softer in my age, and I think you'll be surprised at what I feel. I don't think kids nowadays really they know who we're playing. They've heard of the school. They may not know they're 0-5. They may not know that they're terrible, or whatever. And it's just kind of like, hey, we're playing Oregon State. This is not a conference game. This is a power-ish. It's a team that's got more money than us. I don't know. Like, I saw some rumors that the players are like motioning the kids on.
Oh, okay.
And so and
That's a
someone
little
said
added variable, isn't it?
that's what we wanted. We're like, okay, come
Okay.
celebrate with us. So if that's what the kids want, like if that's what the players want, look, we've said this in the past: is do the players want to wear white helmets at home with white breeches? No, absolutely not. This is not 2017 anymore, right? We don't want that, right? But you know what? They got us a win, and isn't that what it really is all about? Like they got us a win.
I didn't. So I
We're
didn't
there to
know
be
that.
we're there to be entertained. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just saw. I mean, I didn't see it like reverberated
Yeah.
and corroborated and all that good stuff. I saw one person say it, and I was like, "Look, that might be enough." But I think it was just like a couple
It would
people
take just
decided,
one. It would just take one player doing it to open the
yes,
floodgates.
sure.
Yeah. If I was sitting next to a kid and he was a freshman, he's like, I really want to do it. I wouldn't stop him. I'd be like, knock yourself out. If I was
Enjoy
sitting next
yourself.
to a seasoned fan, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm like, really, dude? You know what I'm saying? That's where I think I am. I'm like, I'm certainly not going to judge a freshman,
I
even if
wasn't
I think
running.
it's corny.
I wasn't running down there. That's. I think that's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We weren't
Like
heading down there.
exactly.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's actually like, I think we have like a mutual like understanding with that. Like the kids want to do it, they're energetic. That's fine. Like I'm not going to do it, but if they're enthusiastic, and especially if the players are waving on, okay, I it would only take a handful of players come on, let's go to like, and then once 10 students are doing it, 20, 40 in the compounding, and it's gone.
And I saw a video today that kind of looked like that. It looked like everyone was walking up the hill, and then all of a sudden, like 25 of them or so started going, and people were like, "Well, I'm going if they're going."
And to MJM NC's point, I remember when Michigan scheduled us again for 14. And I remember someone telling me, who was not an app person, they said, that's the biggest mistake Appalachian State has ever made. And I thought, nobody in history is going to remember that we played them in 14.
Nope, and they never will.
And they never will. So, like, will anybody really remember we rushed the field against Oregon State?
Has it taken away from the moment?
No. They
Not a
won't.
bit.
No, they won't. So, whether I think what I think is corny is not necessarily what I would enforce. How about that?
That works for me.
Gonzo app, what's bigger, Turner Field or Charlie Cobb's head? Which is emptier? Yeah, Taylor's getting a card just for mocking Charlie Cobb on here.
Gonzo.
So, yeah, Gonzo. Sorry, whoopsie. Gonzo. Tell me where to mail the card because any Charlie Cobb dig is going to be good for me. Turner Field's bigger, but Cobb's is emptier. Charles, any comment for your former best friend Charlie Cobb?
It is very spacious in there. A lot
Yeah.
of wasted space.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're going to do down there, AJ? They're going to turn the old Atlanta Fulton County into Georgia State's new field.
Are they really doing that?
I think that's what's going to happen.
Wow. That's actually kind of cool. You don't think so?
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I mean, you might as
I mean,
well.
otherwise, it's just a parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got student housing down there now. You got the football field. I mean,
maybe
put
people
something down
go.
there.
Yeah,
Do it.
I think it's even just better that they're going to build a baseball stadium beside the other baseball stadium and actually play baseball in the baseball stadium where they shouldn't have put a football stadium.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Did you ever go to a Georgia State app game when they played in the Georgia Dome?
Yes, that's the only one I've been to in Atlanta was when the last one in the Dome.
We've been to 2 down there. I'm telling you, like every year, I'm going to the Atlanta game because that's just such an easy trip. It's so easy to go down there, and every year it's like something pops up, and we're not going.
Not going either.
Unsatisfied Chase Bryce fan. I don't know what's up with that account title. Is us playing at Turner Field this weekend. Link to the Braves hiring Chipper. The spelling in this tweet, it's very bad. Well, hiring Chipper. Is Chipper Jones getting hired as the manager of the Braves?
Snicker is done.
Okay, so this is like a rumor.
It's a rumor, but what Chipper has basically said is he wants to be a hitting coach first before he finds out if he really wants to be a manager.
Oh, okay.
Now
all right.
We'll see, but that's what the Braves fans want, and we all know what the fans want is not exactly what's the best idea.
When's the last time like a Hall of Fame player was a coach, like a manager? It's probably been a while. Like a Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Like was the coach for the Washington Senators for several years. He was their manager.
Yeah, I'm not as in tune with managers names. I mean, was Wade Boggs a manager?
No.
Don Mattingly. There was Don Mattingly a manager.
Don Mattingly's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right, but was he a manager? I didn't ask if he was in the Hall of Fame. All right.
Well, that was the question, Hall of Fame. But
I'm asking a different question.
Okay, fine. Sorry. All right, we're moving on. Near and Knoll, best pregame spot on King Street. If you drive past King Street, you go to Boonshine. 07 Near. If you had to pick one all-time App State head coach combo to lead this year's squad, who are you rolling with? Shout out as always for covering the apps. Don't be the next Meow Mix.
Do you know what that is, AJ? Meow Mix?
So, cat food?
No. There's a Panthers podcast, Carolina Panthers podcast called Meow Mix. I never heard of it.
Okay.
And the last week before they beat the Dolphins, they decided to just quit. They're like, we're done. And apparently they're popular. Yeah. They're like, we're not do it anymore. And then they won. They're like, I'm sure they're like, golly, you got to be kidding.
Yeah. But I also, I wasn't familiar with the name, but I did see that the podcast had changed and they said they spent like 7 hours breaking down like film and stuff. I'm like, no, thanks. We don't do that. No, thanks. Believe me, we know our limitations. But that is funny.
I wonder if those guys had kids.
Yeah, I think they do. From what I remember on that post, that's funny. I mean, the App State head coach combo to lead this year, there's so many variables that, like, are you talking about like
it's a very
at their prime? Like, are you taking their staffs on top of that? Because like, I feel like Scott Satterfield understood Armani as well as anybody. So like, is it that Scott Satterfield staff from the teens that had all those great coaches and you take Armani Edwards at his prime? That'd be hard to beat, Charles.
Yeah. I don't think you can sit there and say like right now that, that there is someone better with what's on the roster and you can't just take someone else's roster then, and then throw Dow Loggins into it and think that would work, either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough one. I don't like I said, a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of ifs and ands, and it would just be hard to say. I mean, you could phrase that question differently and say, would you want to see Jerry Moore coach one more game? Like, yeah, when he was like 70, that would be different, but not, right this second. Would we like to see Scott Satterfield? Yeah. Exactly. Do we want to see Scott Satterfield again? Like, who knows? Who knows what the future may hold?
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're not gonna jump off the cliff here and say, what I think people might want us to say right now, which is not what we're going to say. Does that make
Right.
sense without saying anything?
Without saying anything. Yep. I just want to see Armani Edwards play again. How about that? I just want to see him play again. Give me a healthier Armani Edwards with the dreadlocks flowing, making plays. That's what I want to see. Jason Hutchins, the last 3 games we've combined, given up 600 yards passing, 400 rushing. Yet against the Beavs, we had that bend not break defense, 4 straight plays. What changes need to be made to help prevent so many passing yards? I actually think I definitely think secondary is what is weakest in our defense. I think our front 7 probably doesn't have as standout guys, but they're all playing really, really well together. Secondary maybe isn't as strong, but they do. I mean, that is the bend don't break. That is how we cashed our checks, in the teens. I think to help them out the most, those probably get to the quarterback, right? I think Malik Murphy probably was standing upright a little bit too long on Saturday. I think if we get to him, that probably helps that back end out a lot.
And he was elusive. A little bit.
Sure.
He knew how to stretch a play out a little, to an extent, and he got the ball in some spots, and certainly that's how a guy gets 13 catches. It's because he knows his quarterback, and he knows where he's going to go with the ball when he's pressured, and knows where to be in the right spot. So that was you may not see that again with them for the rest of the season, but it worked on Saturday. I don't think you'll see that this weekend. Jay Finley is more of a statue back there. For Georgia State, assuming he plays the whole game. Not that he's injured, but they do mix it up a little bit. So it would be nice to get to the quarterback more, for sure.
Yeah. James Burchett, if you could single out one position group to see marked improvement on Saturday, what group would it be and why? Second question, will one of you play cricket sounds during the answers for all time's sake? Listen, we're not going AI for the cricket. The cricket needs to be organic, or it's not going to happen at all. What's really funny is this was like last month. There was a cricket back here, and I didn't know if anybody could hear him, and obviously they didn't.
Mm-mm.
So they missed
through.
out on it. There was a cricket down here, and I heard it. I was like, oh, what's going on? Charles, I think I just answered it. I think more penetration from the defensive line. I think getting to the quarterback. Even though I think they're doing a good job, I don't want to be contradicting myself, but I think that would make the biggest impact on this game is if we get to the quarterback more, because at the end of the day, the quarterback has more time. Eventually defenses are going to break down and someone's going to get open. So even though they're not doing bad, I'd like to see us get to the quarterback a little bit more on Saturday, similar to the last question.
Yeah. I don't really think there's anything else that would really make sense besides that. Just like a little bit on side of the defense. Like I think if we could protect our own guy a little bit more too, to an extent, like our own quarterback, whoever that may be. But
I was thinking defense. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Did it just say defense or say
no? I'm sorry. I inserted that in my brain.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Charles. Sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah, it's. I think I said it pretty much. If we had problems with AJ a little bit. He was holding on the ball a little bit, but there was pressure, and there's new guys, and there's injuries, and sometimes you just need everybody to get on the same page and understand. It's like, hey, we need to reset. Like, hey, we don't have the time we thought we did. We need to change those kind of designs and play calls and all the good stuff. So we're more comfortable with JJ versus AJ and all that good stuff. So it's not just a plug and play situation here all the time.
Yeah. I will change my answer to offensive line. I inserted into James's question about defense, but I want to keep the quarterback up as well. I think that would make the biggest impact on the game as a whole. So not just defense. So sorry. Walter Johnson. Oh, this is the easiest question than the 30-yard field goal to win the game. Who's kicking it, AJ or Big C? One of us played soccer.
Yeah,
it wasn't me.
I would not. If I had to put money on it, I'd put it on me for sure. I could do it.
Oh yeah.
I'd give me 2 practice kicks and some cleats and the right.
You said you'd win the Pat McAfee kicking challenge.
Oh, absolutely. Drill it as long as I took it seriously. And didn't wear like hiking boots or like cowboy boots. You know what I mean? But if I did
Yeah.
something like that, I would absolutely go barefoot. I would kick it barefoot and not even
Okay.
think twice about it.
Yeah. No. No. Absolutely. Now, if it was throwing it, I'd like to compete against Big C. Kicking it,
Oh,
I'm
you
deferring.
don't have that on me either.
I'm deferring. I'm sorry. I'm deferring the kick. No question about it.
All right.
Today I give my all. What's the record for most different winning quarterbacks in one season for App? I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, it has to be 2000. I'm pretty sure we won with Daniel Jeremiah,
Yeah.
David Reeves, and Joe Burchett. I hope we don't find out this year.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I can't imagine we had a season where we had 4 quarterbacks win a game. Four starting quarterbacks.
I mean, the last time we had more than that's not true. I mean, Jacob Huseman came in for Zach, Cam Bryant, and Taylor Lamb. You know, Cam won the Campbell game, and Taylor took over. Jamal, I don't think did Jamal Jackson win a game in 13? I don't think he did. I think Cam Bryant took that. I can't think of 3.
Well, I mean, I'm very certain of 2000 without even looking it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think if even since then,
if 3 even played.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Zeb Spear got in the game a couple times. I know when he was here, and I know Huseman did. So I think 3 have played, but as far as getting a win, like earning a win, I think Big C. I'll take yours for sure on that one. That's a good question. Will Robinson, what's the worst part of the game? What was the worst part of the game on Saturday? Failure to cover the drag route penalties, fourth quarter, 3 and outs, another botched pregame team entrance, rushing the field for an 0-6 team, Trent Walker's NIL deal. Dude is a stud. Pick 2. It's kind of a downer of a question.
So I'll say this real quick. I actually talked to someone today, and like I told you, I didn't see. Well, neither of us really saw the entrance.
Sean Connery came back.
Yeah, but apparently it was still not good enough, according to a local Ben celebrity who told me that it still wasn't where in his eyes, where he thought it could be. And I was like, dang, I hate that. So he was like, I was hoping you would say something about it. I was like, I didn't see it. Because I didn't get to get in until about 5 minutes before kickoff. So
today I bought the it's a package deal. 6 James Bond movies, 6 Sean Connery movies. It's the Blu-ray pack or 4K pack. I love Sean Connery. I hate that I missed it. I hope they keep Sean Connery. Keep Sean Connery. That's like our thing. Virginia, I'll say it forever. If Virginia Tech can have Metallica and have no connection, give us Sean Connery. But that's good. But they do need to get it right, because I'm tired of hearing about like the bad like coordination, the flow, and the timing of entrances and all that stuff. Like, get it right, get the crowd hype. I mean, we're gonna be hype anyway, but tighten it up a little bit.
The band practices, the team practices.
You got to get it right, and it's like weird that it's not right after being right. So for years. I will say the possessions in the fourth quarter were really ugly. It's like we were trying to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory a little bit.
Right.
So I'll say I wasn't there, but botched pregame entrance and our fourth quarter possessions were not good. I'll take those 2. Charles, I don't know if you can add to that.
Yeah, well, the fourth quarter possession.
Hiccup. Are you there?
Said all year, win the fourth quarter.
Hey, Charles, can you hear me? Pixie is bobbing in and out. And I don't have a phone to contact him, folks. So we're just sitting here talking to each other. You, the listener, and me. There you go. Can you hear me?
I've heard you the whole time. You just couldn't hear me.
You were frozen, rubbing your neck. And so
yep, still doing it.
Okay. Sorry. So I think we're good now. Technology's back.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes through on the recording. It'll be great.
It'll be good. We'll sound really bad around the 50-minute mark, or whatever this is. Ashley Rabin, can App State put closed captioning onto the intro by Darrington Evans so folks can know what he's saying, since it's not loud enough and they can't seem to get it right? I'm a big fan of closed captions, Charles. In my older age, I'm a fan of. Go ahead, put the words up there. I would like that.
It drives me crazy when the wife goes to sleep, or gets in bed and like watches a little TV. She didn't want the TV too loud. Like the way the kids, she's so worried I'm closed captioning on. I was like, if I wanted to read something, I'd pick a book up. Like part of that is not knowing what's being said and sometimes guessing sometimes, but I'm with you. Actually. Yeah. That's I think it's a little annoying. I think it's annoying to have it on such a big screen to have the closed captioning on it. But if you do it the right way and not the black and white text that goes across the bottom,
Yeah. You gotta do it tastefully.
Yeah.
A-Hole's Tailgate. One more statement about Sean Clark that maybe a lot of people forget about is the forgettable first that he had to endure. First to deal with COVID, interrupted by major hurricane. First to deal with the portal and NIL. We have talked about that. I mean, that maybe it's because we talk so much about it together and among our friends that maybe I feel like more people talk about it. But that's absolutely true. It just was a different world when he took over, and it was the job. Everybody else still dealt with it too, but man, it really like the earth moved with all that stuff starting in 2020, right. and Clark had to deal with it, and he was the guinea pig in that way. So yeah, it was tough. That was just a hard, already hard job to get harder.
Yeah, 100%. It's no excuses on that, but we've been through that. I wish that or something like that at that timing. It's unfair.
Yeah, I think we're getting more internet hiccups, so we'll just be as clear as we can. I'm only going to do a couple more on Twitter, Charles. So if you want to get Facebook queued up, I'll do a couple more. This is from Sanch. What's your opinion on the white pants at home? What would be your home and away jerseys helmet combo if you got to choose? I would make our primary helmet have the Yosef logo over the A. I actually, it's actually very interesting because our friend Alex Gray was at the game on Saturday and he said, I love this combo. I don't think the combo looks good. Like, we had the black jersey. It's good. I just don't think it looks good. It doesn't look like Appalachian State. I could go so far as like the black jersey, the gold helmet, black jersey, yellow pants. I'll concede that doesn't look bad. At home, I'm about all black. I know that's how we are. Ironically, in the early 2000s, App would wear sometimes black helmet, black jersey, white pants. That would actually be a combo that would happen. If I were picking road jerseys, it would be the Giant Killer combo: black helmet, white jersey, black pants. Charles, what are the combos you're picking?
Yeah, early 2000s we did have white pants, but we still had the black helmet with a white A, and I think that looks better than a white helmet with a black A. I think the white helmet with a black A looks better if you're just going to go all white or you go gold pants. Just throwing that out there. I'm not a fan of what we wore this past Saturday, but I mean, I'm glad we won. That's all that matters. But yeah, prefer black at home. It's what I grew up watching. That's what I'm used to. But I don't mind mixing it up a little bit on the road, depending upon who we're playing. But I'm not over the top on like gold helmets or white helmets or anything like that. I still think we should rock the black pants and then change up the tops and just stay black pants versus white pants. But sometimes when we play a certain type of team, and depending on what their color schemes are or what they want to wear, sometimes that all white does work out. I'm not a huge fan of it, but sometimes it does work out. So especially when you play Arkansas State, they're going to wear black one day, or Louisiana, they're going to have they're all red. Like, that's cool. And Georgia State wears an all blue sometimes, and that's a weird color. Kind of want to stand out a little bit on the field. I get it.
Yeah. To the sticker question, I'm getting more and more like nostalgic over the white block A. Like, I know Scott Satterfield introduced the black block A, I came up with the white blockade. You came up with the white blockade. It's just classic. I don't have anything really against the black blockade, but I don't know. It's something classic about it. I love the Yosef on the helmet. I'll never complain about the Mountaineer being on the helmet. But man, give me the helmet stripes and the white blockade on a black helmet. I think it looks incredible. Henry Stout. I guess we're rolling with Cole now. Is there anything specific he did that gives either of y'all hope for the passing game the rest of the season? Also, shout out to the fan energy in the fourth quarter defense. An awesome first game to take my dad to. I appreciate you writing in there, Hank. Are we rolling with Cole? I mean, rolling Cole. That's kind of funny. I just realized that. I'm not convinced that. I don't know. I think that there was probably an injury thing with AJ Swan as well that factored into Cole. I don't know if Cole was going to be the de facto starter necessarily. I think he did a pretty decent job. I don't think he was great on Saturday. I think it was very refreshing. I think the whole team kind of could breathe a sigh of relief knowing we didn't turn the ball over, especially in those critical moments. Well, I guess we had a safety. I guess that doesn't count. But anyway, besides the point, I thought he was fine. Part of me does think that when AJ Swan looked good, he looked much better. But obviously, like if you're going to throw all those interceptions, that's also not good. If it were up to me, I'd start Cole again. He has got one start under his belt. Did a fine job. We won the game. Probably gives him a little more confidence. I probably would ride the hot hand, whether AJ was ready or not. I don't know. I think that's probably what I would do. Charles, what do you think?
He did enough to, I think, earn another start, and then didn't do enough to not earn it. Had he thrown a couple interceptions or a bad fumble or something like that, then we can talk about it if he'd lost the game. But it does seem like he's like enough was done. Like, all right, so let's just see what happens here. Not to say that you earned the whole game. If you play terrible, then hey, we've got an option if we have health, which has always been the big question mark. But I don't think there's anything that is going to be like. I would be really surprised if we just AJ Swan's healthy, he's starting. Like, because we haven't really heard anything that says that that's the way, right? Like that's because we had other quarterbacks play.
And again, I think there was another question asked early in an earlier satchel earlier this season is, do we need to come back down to earth with quarterback expectations after having Taylor Lamb was a really good quarterback. Zach Thomas was probably an evolution of that. Chase Bryce was really good. Joey, certainly had his struggles last year with turning the ball over, but otherwise was really, really talented and put up great numbers. Like, are we really banking on needing a quarterback of that level of talent, or do we just need an offense that functions and a quarterback that can execute? And I think that was a really good question. And now I've kind of arrived at this point where if we just have a good O-line and can move the ball and have a quarterback that make that play action pass and really not be limited to what kind of pass he can make deep, maybe that's what we need. Maybe we don't need a superstar quarterback, but don't turn the ball over, play smart. Don't I think that probably gets it done, but I would think Cole would start. I don't know. We'll see. I'm glad he did well. Let's put it that way.
100%.
So we're done in Twitter. We'll toss it over
to the 333 Club. We're going to start real quick here with Chip Buckwell. Is there an evaluation system for the officials? The apparent lack of consequences for the absolutely missed calls is not good for the game. The head linesman for this past game was out of position, poor at spotting the ball, and that's the job, as well as had no idea what pass interference fouls should have been. So yeah, no, I do know there is an evaluation system for officiating, and there always usually is. That's how they get bowl games, or championship games. You go down to the high school level, that's how they do playoff games, and the best get the opportunity to work more, make more money because they're good at their job, and it means more. And certainly that's the way it works in the NFL as well. So, I do know that happens, but, sometimes they have a bad game. And sometimes when you're 2-2 and you have an 0-5 team on the other end, you're not going to get the best officials, So I don't know what the agreement said. I don't know what the contract said, if it was Sunbelt officials or if it was Pac-12, 2, whatever you want to call it, officials, or if it was just some random crew from somewhere else. I'm not sure, but usually that
I think it's a
comes into play.
Pac-12 crew.
Was it a Pac-12 crew?
Yeah.
There you go. So
I'll be honest with you.
Is the Pac-12 sending a great crew across the country for an 0-5 team? Probably not.
No, they're not. And I think there's probably another question about officiating in here. I think people are forgetting how bad early Sunbelt officials were. We've seen some stinkers.
Yeah.
We're just not remembering them.
Right. We've done a good job of forgetting.
Yeah.
So then here we go. Some more of the black and white stripes complaints. I'm complaining about officials because we won. I have nothing else to complain about. Yeah, I wish that was it, but there's more. It is wild that football doesn't have some sort of mega official that can overrule in real time bad or no calls. Prime example was that no call PI in the first half that happened in front of 2 refs and even the alternate ref. I think the one even watched it on the screen with the coach and shrugged their shoulders. That crew should be reffing Pee Wee games. That's actually hilarious if that's what happened. I must have skipped through that part of the replay.
That's funny.
But there's no question there, just comments, so that's fun.
Hey, so that one play though was one of the more egregious bad calls that,
and I guess I still haven't seen it, and I need to go see it. And maybe
it is
November,
Charles.
I'll actually report on that.
It is really bad.
But yeah, another comment from Brad Manning. It didn't really. I mean, he adds to the conversation, but no question. Chimed in how egregious that was. Sean Welch, has there ever been a worse officiate game?
Dude, there have been, guys. There have been worse officiating games. There were some really bad ones, and I was a little heated on the post game. There were some bad calls. I do think there was some like Pac-12 bias in there. I don't care what anybody says. I'm sorry, that's what I think. But the early Sun Belt, I mean, come on, ULM coming to Boone, when we were 1-5 or whatever. I mean, come on, they were not good.
David Phillips, we've had some incredible game-winning / stealing plays in Kid Brewer. Where's the hit and the interception rank among the all-time KBS game-stealing / winning plays? I mean, there's a Hail Mary. There's a miracle.
James Madison with
the James Madison fumble.
Jacques Roman, Pierre Banks.
There's Ingle Martin slipping on the turf. There's I feel like there's a lot. Like it happens a lot. But I'll say it's up there because it was a good decleating hit, and
for sure.
And the whole stadium makes the sound. Like it was a good play. Like it was the entertainment type play.
Yeah.
Not number one because we've had so many over the years, but it's
in
definitely
a silo
memorable.
though. Like in a silo,
memorable.
like if you don't know the stakes, like whether it's a playoff game or whatever, that was an awesome moment. Like, it really was. Yeah, I mean, no question about it. There was, I don't know if it's later here in the mail satchel here. Someone asked if there was ever a harder hit. I think was that part of what David just asked, a harder hit or
just where does it rank among the all-time? There's definitely been some harder hits.
Well, I mean, that was crazy hard. I will say, I was talking to Keenan Gilchrist, John Law, and Alex Gray about this earlier because I said, well, I think maybe this was a question. Maybe we didn't get to it on Twitter. I don't know. I don't remember. But I was like, do you guys remember anything like explicit as far as like this was a crazy hit that X, Y, or Z made or whatever? And my first response was to be snarky and say, yeah, there were all kinds of those last year against South Alabama, except it was against us. But there was a game, I think it was against Chattanooga in 2011 or 12, whenever we played them at home. I can't remember now. No, I think it was 11. I think Chattanooga was the odd years. They were in Boone. Deuce Robinson hit somebody from the blind side so hard their helmet came off. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
I think that was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen because that kid had to come out of the game. Like Deuce came around so hard and fast, hit this dude straight in the center of the back. His head slapped back, his helmet flew up in the air. It was crushed. But that was like in the first or second quarter. That wasn't like that didn't end the game.
Yeah. And there's, I know 2019, we played ULM. They threw a screen pass and someone absolutely just slaughtered. It was like the 49-3 game.
Yeah.
It was like homecoming. It was like drizzly rain and overcast and kind of cold. And then I think about Mark Legree in the Wofford Halloween game. He absolutely annihilated somebody. If you want to go take it all the way back to 2005 when we played LSU, Jeremy Wiggins absolutely leveled some LSU receiver, and it was nasty. Like all Death Valley. Like that was one of those. They're like, oh, Devil's Den. Yeah. There's a little teaser there. All Death Valley here were like, oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we've had a lot.
For sure.
Matt Klein at Montana,
so this was but at home though, because Keenan got a little defensive. He said my hit at Tennessee was as hard as anything. I said, yeah, maybe this was something I did see on Twitter, or maybe I think maybe Robert Hogwood had sent it to me or whatever. But it was about Kid Brewer hits because Keenan Gilchrist's goal line spear of Josh Dobbs was great,
right?
But I'm telling you, I got to give Birchall some credit. I mean, hitting a guy, standing up over him, you decleat him, ball pops up in the air. I mean, I got to give the man his due. That was
he was in the right spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, everything has to come together for something like that, but he crushed them. I mean, that was a big, to your point, when the whole stadium gasps, it's a big deal.
Brian Barbary, my trip to Boise got me thinking if we had a tea retrieving dog, what breed would it be?
A blue tick hound? Are you frozen?
So
or are you staring at me? Is this one of the things where you can hear me and I can't hear you and I'm talking over you? Oh boy.
Daniel Boone.
Okay. I can hear you.
Yes.
Again. Sorry.
Daniel Boone, he always had the Mountain Cur. That's a breed of dog that was with him. So I have some friends who are very fond of the Daniel Boone statue down below. He's got the fire and he's got dogs there and all that. If you've never spent some time around there, it's really neat.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So that was his breed. They love going after rabbits and squirrels and all those little small game.
I'm all about it. Mountain Cur. My kids take pictures on that statue. Go Mountain Cur. There you go. I like it.
Stephen Piddle. One thing not mentioned during the post game was the introduction of the team before the game. While the sound system was great, the timing was off, and the intro video only half played before the team ran out and the band started playing. There we go. We got the breakdown. Why do we continue to see these types of mistakes when we've had almost a month to clean this up? Also, who takes the first home run swing at Turner Field on Saturday?
I heard
Rashad DeBinion.
Yeah, Rashad DeBinion. Mr. Baseball player, right? We're going to find that out here in a second. I heard something. This is a rumor. It's the year of irresponsibility. I heard that undergrads are the ones controlling like the board and the sound.
Well, okay.
And all due respect to them, I think it's kind of unfair to give the driver's steering wheel to students like that unless they've been specifically trained. I know this. When did we play Marshall the first time at home? 2021. There was a guy that had worked the Panthers vision or whatever forever in Charlotte. He came up and gave athletics like some feedback on how to like orchestrate the game and the flow and everything else. And I think we go through peaks and valleys where it's good and you almost don't notice it, like what goes on in the game. But there are moments where you're like, this is taking us out of it. And when you mess up things that you feel like you shouldn't be messed up, it just throws people off. And when you start focusing on why is it like that, that's not good. It's taking you out of the experience. So I don't know what the deal is, but I'm with Steve. Like Steven. That should be cleaned up on the intro stuff should be crisp.
And I think a couple others have commented, and I'll try to paraphrase here, about how they think that the officials told Oregon State to run on the field early, and because of that, they like ran through some cheerleaders, and it was like when our alma mater was playing, they let them run through, and then they must have just thought that they wanted to kick off to be at 3:30. They wanted to get it out of there as fast as they possibly could. But we all know that kickoff at 3:30 just means like kickoffs at like 3:30 something.
Yeah,
3:35. I mean, if you watch a television game, like the game kicks off at 1. No, it kicks off at 1:03. They want everybody to get to the TV, get their beverage and their wings or whatever, and it's like, all right, now I'm ready to watch the game at 1 o'clock.
But why should football referees control like that? Like that's kind of, I mean, maybe they literally do. I don't know. That seems a little.
They'd probably just do it different in the Pacific Northwest and other places.
Get back to their hacky sacks.
Mm. Alan Parker, if you lived in Atlanta, what would be your favorite alternate option that would keep you from attending a Georgia State football game?
The Coke Museum.
Coke Museum. College Football Hall of Fame, because you're not going to see Georgia State there.
Yes. Go ahead.
All right, Steve Brooks. It was mentioned during the post-game pod of how hard a goal line stand is. Is there another goal line stand that you all remember? Also, how much boost does that give? The fourth quarter give the defense going forward? Man, the number one goal line stand of all time is Jerome Felton, the J Train, like getting stopped by Jason Hunter. That has to be number one.
Yeah, that has to be. Was that in that crazy game, or was that in the playoffs?
That was in the playoffs.
That was in the playoffs. Wow. Yeah. That's got to be number one, unequivocally. But there had to have been goal line stands that there had to have been. Like, I'm seeing it in my head. Seeing maybe one, like, literal goal line, maybe 2 or 3 yard line. I don't know. But I think because they are so much more rare today, and you don't see them as like textbook. Like, that wasn't like a fluke or a fumble. That was just, we beat them. We just beat them at the line. Mano a mano, clash in the middle, in between the tackles, try to go offside. Safety comes down, linebacker comes down, like bang, bang, bang. You just don't see that like fundamentally pure. There has to be. You're right, though. Jerome Felton was the number one. How long did he play in the NFL? He was in there for a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
He played for the Vikings.
Yep.
And I want to say he played on another team, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure he did. Usually they do.
Yeah.
Jay Neal. In the first 3 games, Jaden Barnes was looking like App's best offensive weapon. 24 catches, 339 yards. Since then, 1 catch for 5. What gives? An injury? Coach making good on his make mistakes and ride the pine? Defense keying on him? Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
I'd say there's more. I think the more film you have on somebody, that's why I've always said, I mean, September football is just crazy because you just don't know. Like, you have this fresh new roster. People have tendencies. And don't forget, like, maybe Jaden Barnes is in great shape. Maybe he's healthy, but then you got Dozier, who's over there, who's also being great, other guys emerge as well.
It's just a combination of he had a great first 3 games. Boise shut our entire passing game down. And then Dozier's ready to go. And, and nobody had seen him. So we were going with him. And they give somebody else something to look at, right? We talk about this all the time, like the NFL staff, right? Like, that's what they do. They find find other teams' weaknesses and they roll with it. Yeah. It's a little bit new for us, in college game, but sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sean Welch, I think there are 7 new Division I coaches in North Carolina this season. How would you rank them 6 weeks in? talking about the coach in Chapel Hill, the coach in Harrisburg, the coach in Boone, the coach in Greenville, the coach in Winston-Salem, the coach in Davidson, and the coach at North Carolina A&T.
Oh, that Davidson coach, he's doing a great job. Like, I don't know. Like, what's Davidson doing? I have no idea.
I'll say of those 7, I know who's doing the worst. And I think I know who's doing the best. I'm going to go with Blake Hurl at ECU doing the best right now.
Yeah,
I don't think
I agree
everyone
with
has saw that turnaround.
Yep.
Maybe Jake Dickert at Wake Forest with a close second. I think Tim Albin at UNC Charlotte is done as well as he can with what he has, but he didn't have much to deal with.
No.
But where there's going to obviously is a lot of consternation is what's going on in Chapel Hill. So,
no, I mean, Bill Belichick reigns supreme in biggest disappointment in college football.
I hope his agent is getting paid well, because whoever made the mistake, and I'm not going to get into knowing much about what happened here. I know, besides, it sounded like they went after him, and
yeah.
But they also had to, his team had to do some convincing as well, I'm sure, at some point. And I just don't think people thought that transition was just going to be as hard as it was. And, we'll see where it lands, but it definitely looks like it will be a nasty divorce.
Yeah. Who gets Jordan, though, in the divorce?
And Jordan gets what he wants. Except when he was fighting NASCAR.
What she wants. I'm talking about the
that Jordan. Girlfriend. See, look at her. Look, you're focused.
Jordan, whatever her name is.
Jordan, Carolina, and I'm thinking basketball, and you're thinking 24-year-old.
No, I couldn't think of her last name. Jordan Huron or Huron or whatever. Hudson. Okay, whatever. Jordan Hudson. Yeah, that's how much I pay attention. So,
what do you think of all that on the sidelines?
I think that this is one. I think it's one of the more bizarre sports occurrences where you have a guy who was known for being a certain way, and he has a midlife crisis in his 70s and abandons completely how he was. That what made him successful. Like, there were some dudes on ESPN that were nailing him, like being all kissy and distracting on the side. Like, all this stuff is who Julian Edelman has a podcast, and he talked about how Belichick honed in and was so detailed about the color gloves they wore. Like, if you wear red gloves, you're going to get more holding penalties. Like, you need to little things. And now he's got his girlfriend snuggling up on him on the sideline. Like, that's the antithesis of what you would think Bill Belichick would be about. And his teams are soft. And they showed some clips of the effort that the Carolina defense was giving against Clemson, and it's like one of the worst coach teams you could imagine at that level that you would expect. They're putting this much money and this many resources into it. I don't watch UNC football. I just watch some of those clips on ESPN that I just referenced, but I don't know. I'm glad I'm not a Carolina fan every day, but especially now with this going on.
Seems like the local media is starting to really grasp it and turn a little bit, and I think you got some upset players, like parents and things, that are going to the media and spilling all these stories about this isn't working and that isn't working, and for instance, what I see today, players selling their tickets,
yes,
not good.
Yeah.
It's just bad culture. Don't know who their coaches are. Don't know their coaches' telephones numbers. Don't know who their position coaches. They're not present. And they say that it's really some of the assistants. But Bill has done quote unquote a good job with the one-on-one coaching. The problem is he can't one-on-one coach 110 guys or something like that. Not taking up for it, but it's certainly a story, and it will probably continue to be one. I'll have fun watching it from the sideline.
Hey, can we talk real quick about Taylor Lamb's Virginia Cavaliers 3-0 in the ACC 5-1? Tweetsy Taylor got a little camera time.
get then this is like their season to get it turned around, and they've done it. I'm proud of them. I mean, that's good stuff. It's always good to see a team or a school who has struggled and all of a sudden get a few good wins, and then it's like, hey, we're ranked, and that's cool. You know, you'd like to see different teams up there competing, getting recognized, even if it doesn't last forever. You know, but at least for the time being.
Yeah, happy for Taylor. Hope he continues to do well.
Yeah, and that's it in the 333 club. That is it.
Well, very good, Charles. Any thoughts about this upcoming game against Georgia State? You know, we talk so much about this team, what we see are deficiencies, what we see are improvements, and Georgia State certainly does not have a good record. They certainly have some crooked scores. They have not played a soft schedule. I think you had mentioned in the post game they had played Murray State. Their one FCS game. Memphis is a good team. They played Memphis and lost.
Mm-hmm.
Vanderbilt's obviously a good team. They played Vanderbilt and got absolutely destroyed. Do you have any expectations one way or the other going up against Georgia State this weekend?
I think it's be careful looking at box scores. They can get you in trouble. But you know, and they played some teams that are good at stopping the run. That their run game does not look good at all. They don't have the statistics there. Their backup quarterback is their third leading rusher. We've got a good receiver, puts up a lot of numbers. And TJ Finley's played a lot of football. He's their starting quarterback. He's seen a little bit of everything, played at all levels. LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Western Kentucky. So he won't be scared of the moment. But I am curious to see like what their defense can do. I mean, that's like the good Georgia State teams have had, like they've been like good on defense. It's always been the offenses that has been their lacking. And I don't see enough of offense. Like really, I don't know if they're a one trick pony or if that's what it is, or like you just can't just throw the ball to one guy all game long and get up and down the field, or can you? Last week against Oregon State.
Yeah.
But if we are really good at stopping the run, and I think we've established that, and they can't run, it's going to force them to pass more. But can we get after them in the backfield like we talked about earlier? Can we make TJ Finley getting like 3rd and 12s and 2nd and 17s and stuff like that? And can we stay on the field and run on them? Every team that has played Georgia State has run for 200 yards except Murray State. So every team that beat them ran for 200 yards on the ground except Murray State. So if that's the recipe to beat them, I think we're probably well suited to do that. And I hope we can. And I think last week was probably as good of an indication. Lewis was good, depending on what's his normal self. And JJ can run a little bit if he needs to. So just to have a lot to think about. And I think one of the big things that Dale McKee talked about in his presser was like how all of our receivers are like big, either all big or they're all Jaden Barnes style. So we'll find a weak link in there, and I think we'll exploit it. But I do think we'll win. I think the spread is like pretty low right now. I think we can win by a touchdown easily though.
Yeah. I think we'll win. I don't know. I don't know. I think we'll win. I think we got some juice from this last game. You got to believe. A lot of energy. I ultimately, though, I think I'm going to hang my hat on. I think I trust our defense to take away what they do best and play. I hate to say play conservative, but what I really mean is just don't give the ball away. So we'll have to see. It's a bummer we couldn't get our buddies from whatever the State of Atlanta podcast, but
did you reach out to them?
I didn't, man. I didn't. I think I should have, but I think I wanted
Well, they didn't reach out to us either.
No, I know. Phone works two ways, David. David's a good dude. They are. They're dedicated, and I really do. I pull for good things to happen for fans that are like true, like they're showing up. It's hard to be a fan of a bad team, and they do it, and they're very lighthearted about it. So I will say every year, we make the typical jokes about, who's your daddy or whatever, but they do get a little smart alecky though.
They do.
And
They
like
like that.
Smart State, Appy State, I'm like, you just don't have permission.
You haven't
You
earned
don't
it.
have permission to do that. So anyway, I like giving David a hard time, but they're good dudes. Anyway, so we're gonna anything else before we go to R Dub?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool.
Apologies to the internet for the internet. We don't know how it's going to come out, but we're not positive.
If you could at least hear one of us, I think, whatever. We'll just do with that. But okay, so we're going to toss to our conversation with Rashad Dubinion, our good buddy. Now we affectionately call R-Dub. Starting running back for Appalachian State, number 7, having a really great year. A really fun interview where we learned something very cool about him that I did not watch the Mountaineer Talk last week. So when I asked Joey Jones, could we have Rashad on, I didn't see the Mountaineer stuff. I don't know. I see him tweet. I see what he posts, and I just respect it. It just seems like coming from a mature, focused place. And we learn a little bit about that coming up. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. We've already had it. We've already recorded with him. Have a good time. But it is brought to you by our special guest segment by Mountaineer Mania, the number one spot where you need to go get your Appalachian State gear in apparel, tailgate supplies, jerseys, hats, whatever you need. Check them out. And they have some like really high-end stuff. Like if you want really nice pullovers, sweaters, polos, they have it. They also got the t-shirts and the hoodies and the blankets and the cool t-shirts, the stylish t-shirts. They got it all. 497 West King Street, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. On a Friday, they're up till 6. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, 1 to 5. I think on game days, they're open till 8 p.m. on Saturday. Go check them out. And then every purchase you make, some proceeds will go to supporting Appalachian State athletics. Go get a jersey, go get a polo, go get a hoodie. Mountaineer Mania. We thank them for sponsoring the show. So with that being said, sit back, relax, grab a smoking jacket, a nice pipe or cigar, your favorite beverage, maybe a Hatchet coffee porter from Boonshine. Find a comfortable place to sit and get ready to hear the soothing sounds of Appalachian State starting running back, Rashad Dubinion.